Biochemistry by Dr. P.K. Prabhakar. If you have not subscribed my channel, please subscribe it so that you will get all the information about the clinical biochemistry topics and other related areas. And today we are going to talk about the glycolysis. Yesterday we have seen some of the metabolic pathway, roughly 10 metabolic pathway we have seen it. What are the different important carbohydrate metabolic process we have. So the first metabolic process which was there, that was the glycolysis. So we are going to see glycolysis. As we are saying, the glycolysis is composed of two different words. It is glyco plus lysis. Glyco means glucose, lysis means degradation. So it is glucose degradation. So in this process we are going to have glucose, and glucose will be degraded, and ultimately product we are going to get, that is pyruvic acid. Another important point in this process is glucose is a 6 carbon compound. So this one molecule of glucose, which is having 6 carbon, is going to broken down into 2 molecule of pyruvic acid, and which is having 3 carbon. In this process we are getting some of the intermediates, like we are getting ATP, we are getting a reduced product, that is NADH. So these two are energy rich molecules. This glycolysis is also called as EMP pathway. EMP pathway means Embden Meyerhof Parnas pathway. So this is also called as EMP pathway, and this glycolysis is universal for all the cells, all the living cells. So glycolysis takes place in all the cells, all the living cells. So this is a universal process. And the site for the glycolysis is cytosol, cytoplasm of the cells. As this process occurs in cytosol, so there are a number of cells we are having in our body which does not have mitochondria. Why? What is the significance of mitochondria? Because glycolysis gives us pyruvic acid, and that pyruvic acid further oxidized metabolite in the mitochondria. So the cells which lacks mitochondria, they don't have that citric acid cycle process, you have further metabolism of pyruvic acid. So in that cells, glycolysis is the ultimate process, ultimate metabolic process by which they get energy. So there are few cells which lacks mitochondria, and those cells are RBC, cornea, lens. They lack mitochondria. So in these cells, glycolysis is the ultimate process by which they get energy. This glycolysis can take place in the presence of oxygen, also in the absence of oxygen also. So it can be oxygen dependent as well as oxygen independent. Means in absence of oxygen, in the presence of oxygen, in the absence of oxygen, it can takes place. So it can take place in both the places. Now this glycolysis, where glucose is going to degrade and gives you 2 pyruvic acid of 3 carbon molecules. So first we want to see what is the significance of glucose in our body. Glucose can be used as a storage food in terms of starch or in terms of glycogen. Pyruvic acid can go for oxidation and gives us ATP. It can go for oxidation and gives us ribose 5 phosphate. It can gives us structural components like N-acetyl glucosamine or N-acetyl muramic acid, which is the component of cell wall in bacteria. So these are different uses of glucose. Other than this one, glucose can be used as an intermediate for number of other components, like it gives us pyruvic acid, and this pyruvic acid can be used for the synthesis of amino acids, for the lipids, and number of other places. So glucose is one of the important metabolites in our body. Now whole glycolysis, where whole glycolysis is, we are having glucose, and by different processes it is going to convert it into pyruvic acid. So this reactions, this whole process is a 10-step process. In this 10-step process, there are 10 different enzymes is required, and this whole process is divided into 3 phases. Phase number A, that is called as energy investment phase or priming phase. Energy investment phase or priming phase. Phase number B is called as splitting phase. Phase number C is called as energy generation or energy production phase. So this phase having 3 steps. This phase is having 2 steps, and this phase is having 5 steps. So total we are having 10 steps catalyzed by 10 different enzymes. Now we are going to see each reactions separately. So first we are going to see energy investment phase. In energy investment phase, we are going to invest energy. Fine. So the reaction is, we are going to reaction number 1. We are having glucose. Glucose is converted into glucose 6-phosphate. In this reactions, we require an enzyme, that is hexokinase. It requires a phosphate donor, and here the phosphate donor is ATP, adenosine triphosphate. This adenosine triphosphate gives its terminal phosphate, gamma phosphate, to the glucose at the 6th carbon of glucose, and ATP converted into ADP, diphosphate. This reactions require magnesium ion. This hexokinase, hexo means 6 carbon sugar, and kinase means any enzymes which normally involves in synthesis and do the phosphorylation. So this is 6 carbon catalyzing enzymes which do the phosphorylation or synthesis process. So this is our first reactions. Reaction number 2. This glucose 6-phosphate is converted into fructose 6-phosphate by the enzyme phosphofructoisomerase. So enzyme is phosphofructoisomerase. Important point is here just glucose 6 phosphate is converted isomerase into fructose 6 phosphate. The major thing and most important thing is this reaction is unidirectional reaction. Its reaction takes place in only one direction, whereas this reaction can occur in bidirectional way. It can take place in both the way. So glucose 6 phosphate can be converted to fructose 6 phosphate, or fructose 6 phosphate can be converted to glucose 6 phosphate by the same enzyme, that is phosphofructoisomerase. Yeah, phosphoglucose isomerase, phosphofructoisomerase or phosphoglucoisomerase. And the third enzyme is where fructose 6 phosphate is going to convert it into fructose 1,6 bis phosphate. Means it is having two phosphate group. Already one phosphate is there, it needs another phosphate. Another phosphate is coming again from ATP, which is converted into ADP. Fine. It also requires Mg plus 2 ion, and the enzyme which required is that is phosphofructokinase. So these are the three steps for the energy investment phase, where we are going to invest energy. So glucose required ATP, this is investment of ATP. So we uses ATP converted into glucose 6 phosphate and ADP by the enzyme glucokinase, or we can use hexokinase. I will tell you what is the difference between glucokinase and what is the difference between hexokinase. Then this glucose 6 phosphate converted into isomerase into fructose 6 phosphate by the enzyme phosphoglucoisomerase. This fructose 6 phosphate is going to be phosphorylated by the enzyme phosphofructokinase, where also again we require another ATP involvement, that is energy expenditure, that is ATP converted to ADP. So this is the product we are getting after the energy investment phase. Another thing is this reaction is also unidirectional reaction. So reaction number 1, reaction number 3 is unidirectional. That we have to remember it. Now this reaction number 4, fructose 1,6 bisphosphate is going to be digested. This is having 6 carbon. So glucose has 6 carbon, glucose 6 phosphate has 6 carbon, fructose 6 phosphate is having 6 carbon, fructose 1,6 bisphosphate is having 6 carbon. So still we are having 6 carbon. This fructose 1,6 bisphosphate is going to digest it into two portions, that is glycerol dehyde 3 phosphate and dihydroxy acetone phosphate by an enzyme that is called aldolase. Again, this reaction is bidirectional reactions. Now this aldolase reaction, aldolase enzyme digested fructose 1,6 bisphosphate into two molecules, that is glycerol 3 phosphate and dihydroxyacetone phosphate. Both are having 3 carbon. So now we are getting 3 carbon molecules. This aldolase enzymes catalyzes reaction. This reaction is a kind of aldol digestion, which is just opposite to the aldol condensation reactions. So now this dihydroxyacetone phosphate can convert it into glycerol dehyde 3 phosphate, or glycerol dehyde 3 phosphate can be converted into dihydroxyacetone phosphate by an enzyme that is called as triose phosphate isomerase. So this is reaction number 4, which is catalyzed by aldolase, and this is reaction number 5, which is catalyzed by triose phosphate isomerase, which can convert dihydroxyacetone phosphate to glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate or glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate to dihydroxyacetone phosphate. But in glycolysis, we are going to use glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate. So this will be utilized. So this is normally converted into this one, and that will be used for further processes. So this is our splitting phase where fructose 1,6 bisphosphate is split into two molecules, two different 3-carbon sugars. Now we are going to see the third phase of the glycolysis, that is energy production phase, energy generation phase. In this energy generation phase, so from glucose we have got till now 2 molecule of glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate. This glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate is going to, in reaction number 6th. So glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate is going to convert it into 1,3-bis phosphoglycerate. 1,3-bis phosphoglycerate. In this reactions, the enzyme which is catalyzing this reaction is glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate dehydrogenase. As the name suggests, dehydrogenase, so it removes hydrogen molecules, hydrogen, and it uses NAD plus and gives us NADH plus H plus. This is the reaction. This is the energy rich molecules we are getting it. Fine. So 2 molecule of glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate gives us 2 molecule of 1,3-bis phosphoglycerate using 2 molecule of NAD plus and gives us 2 molecule of NADH and H plus. Now reaction number 7. This 1,3-bis phosphoglycerate is converted into, it will be dephosphorylated, means one of the phosphate molecules from the first carbon will be removed and that will be donated to ADP. Energy is required, energy is produced, and the product will be 3-phosphoglycerate. Enzyme which is going to catalyze this reaction is phosphoglycerate kinase. And it gives us, so as you are seeing, the phosphate from this first carbon is going to be removed, so only phosphate will be left at third carbon, that is 3-phosphoglycerate. That phosphate will be taken by ADP, which gives us ATP. Now we have used 2 molecule of glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate, we have got 2 molecule of 1,3-bis phosphoglycerate. So this 2 molecule which going to gives us 2 molecule of 3-phosphoglycerate, using 2 molecule of ADP converted into 2 molecule of ATP. This is our reaction number 7. Reaction number 8. Is we are going to use 3-phosphoglycerate, which is converted into 2-phosphoglycerate. So just phosphate group has been shifted from third carbon to the second carbon, and enzyme which is required is phosphoglycerate mutase. So 3-phosphoglycerate is converted into 2 molecule of 3-phosphoglycerate is converted into 2 molecule of 2-phosphoglycerate by the involvement of phosphoglycerate mutase enzyme. Now, reaction number 9. 2-phosphoglycerate is converted into phosphoenol pyruvate, and all these reactions are bidirectional. Phospho enzyme pyruvate. Enzyme which is required here is enolase. This enolase, whenever you will know, whenever we are going to use glucose estimation, that time we are going to use fluoride vials. Fluoride is going to inhibit this enzyme only, so that no glycolysis will take place. The reaction number 10 is this phosphoenol pyruvate is converted into pyruvic acid by a enzyme pyruvate kinase. Here also the phosphate is going to be removed, and that phosphate will be taken by ADP, gives us ATP. This is reaction number 10. So reaction number 1 was unidirectional, reaction number 3 was unidirectional, reaction number 10 is unidirectional. So out of 10 reactions, there are 3 reactions which is unidirectional, that is catalyzed by glucokinase, phosphofructokinase and pyruvate kinase. These are the only 3 reactions which is unidirectional in the nature. Now if we'll say, what were the final reactions, what we have done it. We have used glucose, we have used 2 molecule of ADP plus 2 molecule of PI plus 2 molecule of NAD plus, and finally we have got it 2 molecule of pyruvic acid plus this ADP plus this phosphate converted into 2 molecule of NADH plus H plus. Now I'll tell you the energetics of glycolysis. The reaction number 1, glucose to glucose 6-phosphate, we have used 1 ATP, so I am going to put it minus 1 ATP. Reaction number 2, fructose 6-phosphate converted into fructose 1,6-bisphosphate, there also I have used 1 ATP. Then reaction number, this was reaction number 3. Then reaction number 6, glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate converted to 3-phosphoglycerate gives 2 molecule of glycerol 3-phosphate we have used. So we have got 2 molecule of 3-phosphoglycerate. We have got 2 molecule of NADH. Then reaction number 7. We have used 1,3-bisphosphoglycerate converted into 3-phosphoglycerate, and it produces ATP, but we have used 2 molecule of 1,3-bis-phosphoglycerate. So we have got 2 molecule of 3-phosphoglycerate and we have produced 2 molecule of ATP. Then reaction number 10, phosphoenol pyruvate converted into pyruvic acid. Here also we have got 2 molecule of ATP. This NADH, which is normally produced in, this is our mitochondria, this is our cytoplasm. So this NADH is produced in cytoplasm, but for the oxidation, for the ATP production, it has to go to the mitochondria. But this mitochondria, this will go by 2 different ways. 2 different subtle system is there. That subtle system we will talk in later. So we are having a aspartate malate subtle system and some other subtle system. So that subtle system can give us 2 different ways. In one way, it can give you 1.5 ATP per NADH, and another way it can give you 2.5 ATP per NADH. So forget about this one. Now we are going to put 3 ATP. Just for a time being, we are just going to assume 3 ATP per NADH. So total we are getting 6 ATP. So finally we are having 6 ATP, 2 ATP and 2 ATP. Total 10 ATP we are getting, and we are getting using 2 ATP. So 8 ATP is our gain, or you can call it in another way. If I am not going to talk about this one because that subtle system we have to see it, then this 2 ATP and these 2 has been digested. So ultimate is we are getting 2 ATP plus 2 NADH. Later, once we will talk about the subtle system, that time we will see how this NADH gives us different types of ATP during the process. And later on we are also going to see the regulatory steps of glycolysis, how glycolysis will be regulated. So there are 3 different steps we have seen. Catalyzed by glucokinase, catalyzed by phosphofructokinase, and catalyzed by pyruvate kinase. So these are the 3 steps, that is reaction number 1, reaction number 3, reaction number 10, which is catalyzed by these 3 enzymes are regulatory steps, and these 3 steps are the only step which is unidirectional in the glycolysis. The rest all the 7 steps are bidirectional in their nature. So we will see how these 3 molecules is going to be regulated in case of glycolysis. So that's all for today. We will see next time what is the difference between hexokinase and glucokinase and regulatory steps of the glycolysis. If you have any query, any suggestions, please write in the comment box. If you have not subscribed my channel, please subscribe it. Thank you very much. Have a nice day.